Welcome back. This is Confessing Lies or Telling Stories. This is the place where I tell all the things I need to tell and say all the things I need to say in a safe, discreet, and most importantly, legal way. I'm still active. I've learned nothing, at least not enough to stop what I'm doing. But I do get better. Not this, what I'm talking about. Whew. So, if you're just tuning in, I'm telling you a story that's about my life. There's nothing else to say about that other than believe if you want, and I hope that you don't. That keeps me safe. The last story we told is a story about my side hustle that, because of my actions, grew very rapidly to the point it got the attention of some people you really don't want to get the attention of. Not in that business. Um, they made me an offer that I just couldn't refuse. And if I tried to refuse it, chances are I would not be sitting here right now telling you this story. Really, there's no chances are that's what would have happened. All right. So they come in, they do what they got to do, they leave. When they leave, I am under new management. I'm no longer my own business. I am now answering to people who are very capable of retiring me immediately. I'm 19 years old. I'm about to hit 20. But I am the leader of my organization, my personal organization. Now that they've come and basically taken over and told me what it's going to be, I go back out. I don't have to worry anymore about backup. I don't have to worry about people stepping on my toes. And I thought I didn't have to worry about competition. Turns out I'm on my own with that. They don't help with that. So I go out. I've already been making great money, and now it's about to get even better because I have more reach, I have more power, and now because I'm working for other people who have more experience, I now have more guidance. So they send me out, they hook me up, they fine tune what I got going on, and I'm out there. We're going to speak in the we're going to speak in keys, and I'm just going to leave it at that word, keys. Okay. I'm about 6, maybe 7 keys in. And that's when I realized that it's not going to get easier. It's not going to get better. More money is going to come. But when they say more money, more problems, they're not playing. Today's story is going to be about the first time I learned that lesson the hard way. I've never had so much money that other people were jealous. Not up to this point, you know. At 19 years old, about to turn 20, I've had stripper money. I've had side hustle money, but I've never had organization money. I've never had boss money. And at this point, I kind of do. I kind of have boss money. Because I'm young and dumb, I definitely have boss possessions. I'm spending it just as fast as I can get it. Because coming off of a homeless stint, coming from basically being self-made, because nobody really helped me when I came up, I did my own thing. Uh, it was my first time having money, and I didn't know how to act. So I looked the part. I was doing my thing. Quick side story: I was already a dancer. If you haven't seen the other stories, go back and watch those so you can catch up to where I'm at. I'm still a dancer, but now because of my side hustle, when I go to dance, I'm not just pulling up in a nice car with a suitcase and walking in with nice stuff. No, 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 no. I now will pull up in a limo. I would pull up in a party bus. I would pull up in anything that set me apart from the rest of the dancers. When you take a break, you're an independent contractor. You can leave. You can do what you want to do. Go eat. You have no idea how good it feels to go in as a dancer, get money, do your thing, take your lunch, come out, walk onto a party bus, and just relax. Eat a catered meal, ball out for about an hour, come back off the party bus, go back in the club, get back dressed, get money, come back out, leave, and then go handle business. I was a rock star, but that's how my eccentric mind would work. I would show up and show out. So at this point, I'm making no money as a dancer because any money I made, I probably spent more than that preparing to be there. But I didn't care. Money's coming in from everywhere. So I'm out here. I'm turning heads, and I'm not realizing that I'm turning heads for all the wrong reasons. I am now the one everybody's looking at. I'm now the one everybody's gunning for, and I'm now the one everybody's secretly hating on because I basically look like a douchebag, man. I'm out here just spending money, throwing it away, talking to people funny, just acting up like I've never ever had money before, which I haven't. Not real money, and not real power, and definitely not real respect. I'm barely not a kid anymore. So, needless to say, I pissed off a lot of people. These people are older than me, more seasoned than me, probably tougher than me, but they're not me. And they know my connections. So you got to be careful because if you try to mess up the money supply, the suits will show up. You don't want that problem. You'd rather deal with me. As long as the money's coming in, they don't get involved. So people kind of left me alone, except for a couple of groups, pretty strong on their own. I stepped on toes, and I can't say accidentally because there's no accidents in this business. Everybody knows you get money, you get as much money, you get power, you get as much power, you get territory, you get as much territory as you can. There is no end, there is no limit. So as I grew, I grew. So of course I hit an area that I probably shouldn't have been in. Um, but I saw the money potential. I knew the layout and I knew the prices and I knew I could kill those prices and I knew that I could up the product. I could make it better because I knew what was around there. I do my homework. I'm a very methodical person. I do everything down to the last detail. So I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. The only thing you can't control is free will. You can't control people and how they're going to react to some of the things you do. So I go into this area and I walk in like a clown, man. I walked in there like a circus. I'm big cars, big old crew, entourage, just taking over, man. Just proving who I am so I don't have any problems. And it worked. The moment I got there, my name flew like hot fire. My product flew out, gone. And people loved it. Within a week's time, I took over a good area, it's a good size area. It was impressive. But of course, that area had somebody there already. And I can understand why that person just was not ready to let that area go. So, being that we only got so much time to explain this, long story short, I'm in somewhere dark. My arms are chained. I don't feel good because I've been beaten and I'm stuck here. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know how to get out. I don't even remember how they got me, which leads me to believe they must have caught me slipping. I'm young, must have put something in my drink. I'm at the club, very easy, and I'm young. I'm not watching my back like that. At the club, I'm a dancer. I'm not a boss, so I'm not watching my back like that. But I do not remember exactly how they got me. I just know that when I came to, They had me. Uh, it was a very short conversation. They walked in, and it was told to me that I'm in the wrong area, and they don't care who I work for. This ain't gonna happen. And if it wasn't for my age, if it wasn't for the fact that I was a jit, they would go ahead and take care of the problem now. But they would give me one chance to be smart and walk away. That's if I survive. And then they left. They didn't unchain me. They didn't give me any way to get out. They just left. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know how I got there, what I was going to do to get out. I was just there. Hours passed by, and then a day passed by. And then hours passed by, and then 2 days passed by. I don't need to get into what kind of situation I'm getting in or I am in because we're human. And you know that within a day or two, there are certain things that humans need to do in general. And I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of graphic stuff, but you know, there are certain things we need to live. And because we're alive, there's certain things we need to do on a daily basis as far as waste. Well, in 2 days, here I am. So, needless to say, I'm not the most clean, happy, or safe. I'm dirty, I'm wasting away, and things are not going well. I don't know how my people found me. I don't know. But my people found me. Not the big suits, my people. And I wasn't in a good place when they found me. It had been almost 3 days of me being chained. And in those 3 days, the chains were up here. So my arms, they didn't feel good. It was bad. I was in bad shape. I couldn't even walk out on my own. So they got me out. They got me the medical attention I needed. And it took about a week before I was right physically. If I'm in, if I'm being all honest right now, even mentally and emotionally, I'm still not right from it because that was a close one. We're going to go ahead and leave that part alone and get to what happens next. Um, of course, I'm pissed off. I'm not happy at all. I found out who it was, and it wasn't hard because this area was not a city area, which is why it was so easy for me to make a big splash there. But it had money there, so it was easy to find out who did it. I uh, I overreacted. I overreacted. It was the first time that I came up with what we call a signature move. Okay, when you get into this game, at least back then, I don't know how it is now, but back then, we all had our signature moves, our calling cards. People were known for things. For me, it was my initials. There are or were at least 9 people walking around this earth, all men, that have my initials permanently on their body. And I'm not talking about no tattoos. I'm not even talking about a brand. I'm talking about anger issues. And I have a very bad habit of blurting out the most outrageous, crazy things I can when I get mad as a threat. My calling card became that no matter what I said to you out of anger, No matter how I said it, no matter how crazy it sounded, whatever I said I was going to do to you, that's what I'm going to do. Verbatim. No euphemisms, no metaphors, no analogies. That was my calling card. And my signature move was initials. It wasn't a it wasn't a good time. It was a very dangerous, violent time. So we find these guys. Um, I'm feeling pretty cocky now because keep in mind, I got unknown backup that most people don't know about. But that's not what's doing it. It's the fact that I'm not even legal enough to buy alcohol. And I am a feared and known figure in a state that I am not from. I'm getting off on that. I love it. So there was no preparation, there was no tactical things going on with this. I was pissed. So it was nothing but muscle, anger, and heart. And we went in there and we did what we had to do. But my thing was, I want to make sure that if I don't get a chance to end this now, which was a rule of my so called superiors, you can't just handle business like that without their permission because that blows back on everybody. So if I'm trying to permanently handle a situation, I have to get permission first. But I need to get my point across to these people because they almost retired me early. I don't like that. So I just so happen to have a Phillips head screwdriver. Um, I was installing some speakers in my car earlier that day. We got word, we ride out, we get there. Well, in all the chaos, we got the situation under control. It's time for me to make good on my threat. And my threat was everybody you see who meets you from now on, when I find you, everybody who sees you from the day I find you will know what I did and they'll know who did it. Everybody. Whether you tell them or not, they will see it. So when I found them, I carved a mural to my threat in a place to where no matter whether or not he talked about it, no matter whether or not he decided to tell somebody, they saw it just as clear as day. And he's either going to have to stay away from people or he's going to have to explain it every time he walks on somebody because of the placement of my retaliation. Now, I'll give you three guesses to figure out where my initials are. If no matter what, as soon as you walk up, you're going to see it. He could be fully clothed and you're going to see it. So you can imagine where I put it at. That's right. Every time you look in the mirror, right there. So I did that. Two nice big letters, right where everybody can see it. And it felt so good. I felt so crazy. And that made me feel so good that it became my signature move. I'm pretty sure that by saying that, if anybody who I had a run in with just happens to be watching YouTube, they know who I am now because it's not a signature move that people just do. But I don't care. So I handled that. It got me a name that I didn't want. It got me a reputation that I didn't want because what happened is it gave me a psychotic reputation. It made people realize that I am crazy. And when you're dealing with somebody who's crazy, people don't run up on you talking about, what's up, what you want to do. They don't play that game with you no more because now they know you're crazy. So now when they run up on you, they run up on you totally different. They run up on you with way different intentions. And they run up on you ready. Unfortunately, that caused me a lot of problems, a lot of pain, and I lost a lot of blood. I'm just going to be real with you. But it is what it is. I said it in the last video, and I'm going to state it again. The greatest advice I ever got was from the old heads, the OGs. You do not have to be the biggest. You do not have to be the baddest. But you always better be the craziest. And I proved myself to be that in every situation I was in. And honestly, I give that more credit than my tools that I use to, my protection. I give that more credit than my own protection that I kept on me at all times for me being able to sit right here to this day. Me being willing to go further than anyone else. Me being the kind of person that I am. It made me realize that nobody, and I do mean nobody, is really thrilled about standing in front of something or someone that is relentless, something that will not stop, someone that will not quit, someone that will not end it until it's done. Once people know that when they start with you, it will never stop until I say so, they don't bother you no more. And if they do bother you, it's on a whole new level. So that's what I leaned into. I leaned into the crazy. And I started my career at 19. By the time I did hit legal age at 21, I was gone, man. I was gone. I'm already not wired right. And again, you got to go watch the videos to see that I'm not doing this for shock value. There's a mental condition here that has a lot of repercussions because of the decisions I made in life and continue to make to this day. So I'm telling you these stories so you understand that the decisions we make in life will damn sure dictate the life we lead. And my decisions were not, they were not good, they weren't smart, they weren't even logical, to be honest with you. But the dopamine hit I got from being feared, from hunting people down like they do in movies, like a Jason Voorhees type deal, like the thrill I got from that is unnatural. And to this day, when I think about it, I get goosebumps, I get butterflies because I still wonder what I was thinking, man. And I still wonder to myself why I'm able to still get that mad to this day. When I get mad, I don't care. I'm going to go do whatever the first thing is that hits my mind that's going to make me feel better about whatever's happening. And that's not good. Needless to say, I'm an introvert. I don't go many places, don't hang around many people. I'm a self-handler. I told you, I take care of myself. I know who I am. I know how I am. I wouldn't subject anybody to that, especially somebody who I know is not right around me. Anyway, I digress. After we handle the situation, word gets out. There's a there's a maniac in town, and he's well connected. He doesn't play the radio, and he still has Similac on his breath. He's a baby. That pretty much put a target on my back, my head, my legs, my elbows, my knees. Like it wasn't good. But fearless, dumb as hell, money and power hungry, and my hormones are kicking because I'm fresh. I'm a teenager, basically. The attention from the women alone made it all worth it. I loved it. I loved living out that life. I see why people get caught up in it. And I'm not trying to glorify it. I'm just letting you know when you are in it, the only thing worse than the addiction to the product is the addiction to the lifestyle. And I still have that addiction to this day. I I don't know what I would do if I wasn't able to get enough money to take care of myself today, because I know what experience I have, I know what connections I have, and I'm not I'm not going back homeless. I refuse. So I'm gonna just keep on grinding and pushing on and hoping everything works out, because I don't want no problems. And I really don't have to worry about having problems. I have to worry about causing problems. And I don't want to cause any problems. All right. So again, this is all about mental stuff, conditions, decisions, anger management. And I can't say it gets better, but I do learn more along the way. All right. I promise you I don't continue to mess up the same way, but I do continue to mess up. And I still haven't stopped even today. Needless to say, I guess I won't be running out of material anytime soon, huh? I'm a lifetime F up, and I don't think I'm going to be stopping. All right. Until next time, I want to thank you for listening. Hopefully, you pull something out of this to make you make better decisions when you're out there in life. Free will sucks, but we all have it. Try to manage yours well, and try not to let others piss you off. All right. Have a good week, weekend, whatever it is. Until next time, I am the DJ. I'm out.